Rounds here on UFC Fight Pass. I'm TJ DeSantis along with my soulmate in the commentating booth, whether it be grappling with the Eddie Bravo Invitational or jiu-jitsu that hits you and combat jiu-jitsu, or it's the gauntlet in PGF. It's BMAC, Brandon McCatherine. How are you?
TJ, I'm doing fantastic. The question is, how are you? And how's your new band?
My band? I don't have a band.
Balderrama?
You know, you've been saying this joke before we even got on the air, and I knew it was coming, and it still pissed me off more than I wanted it to. I don't like it. I don't like it. You've been living the rock star life. Look at you traveling the world lately.
It's been a weird. I live a weird life now, dude. It's something else.
You know what? You are the only person I've ever met in my life where it feels like, don't get me wrong, I feel like you're in control, but life just sort of happens to you.
It does, though. You're totally right. I don't know. I don't know how any of this cool stuff is happening, but I sure am enjoying it.
Well, I'm happy that you're here with us for an exciting episode of Extra Rounds as we get ready for a jam-packed weekend in mixed martial arts as well as EBI. It's the return of the Eddie Bravo Invitational, BMAC.
Yes, EBI Absolutes, EBI 21. Pretty stacked lineup, but my understanding is that we're here today to talk about the top 5 moments. Is that right?
Yeah.
We're going to recap.
Yeah, because it's the 10-year anniversary. We got to, look behind before we look ahead.
I think it's the right thing to do. Here's what we should do. Let's include combat jiu-jitsu in this too, but none of just subs from combat jiu-jitsu. Okay. Because I feel like we gotta include those in there as well, because there's been so many good subs and great moments from combat jiu-jitsu. I don't want to leave any of those out. Like some of the moments I think of when I think of EBI were actually like combat jiu-jitsu moments. Yeah.
All right. That kind of makes me think about some other things. Can I have a honorable mention that is not on the list that shouldn't actually be on the list, but it was a big moment and also one of the worst moments of my life?
Yeah, for sure.
Combat jiu-jitsu down in Cancun. Craig Jones taking on Donald Cerrone, featuring BMAC, Brandon McCatherine, and half of my voice on the call.
Dude, you sounded like a dying frog on that one.
Yeah, I was pretty sick. Unbeknownst to me. I didn't even feel that sick, but, dude, it got bad real quick.
You sounded rough, dog. It was a tough day at the office for old Tej.
Yeah, it was. All right, so do you have a list fleshed out in your mind?
I mean, I wouldn't say I have it fleshed out, but I am thinking of one right away as I look at you.
So we're going to go from like 5 to 1?
Yeah, let's do number 5 first.
All right, so I feel like a lot of our list is pretty much the same. So we've collectively put our heads together, if you will, and have put these down. Why don't you tell the world your number 5?
Well, number 5 is a crazy comeback submission from Imanari versus your band.
Balderrama,
yeah.
Okay, I'm learning. This was pretty cool just because to have Masakatsu Imanari on the show, like, I mean, dude, have we ever gone through an EBI or CJJ without saying the man's name when people go for an Imanari roll?
No, you have to. I mean, one of the coolest moves of all time, one of the most hilarious calls from a UFC corner of all time even has his name in it.
Absolutely.
When Eddie was telling Tony Ferguson, just go for the Imanari, man.
Absolutely. All right, so you want to go back and watch this match?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, it's Masakatsu Imanari and Damian Balderrama here in Extra Rounds. Damian Balderrama and the legend Masakatsu Imanari. TJ DeSantis, Brandon McCatherine, the Killer Bee, Ben Saunders, Matt Side here, Orpheum Theater in downtown Los Angeles. This Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds 2020, the featherweights.
We have Imanari.
I know.
How cool is that? And how old is Balderrama? He's a young man. He's
20 years old on the mat now with a 44-year-old Japanese legend.
yeah, a real legend, and not just a legend of jiu-jitsu, but a legend of MMA. So he's no stranger to having strikes thrown at his head. And, oh, he's already in on a leg. Imanari, of course, the leg lock monster. He's got that inside heel hook. Switches off to the 50-50. It's deep.
Trying to find an answer here. Imanari trying to take that leg home with him.
Wow, he did a great job of getting his hands down there. Wow. He was down to the hands were together, the grip was together, so Imanari almost had that one done.
All legs here early. Imanari trying to make the adjustment. Balderrama in deep waters, just 1 minute into this regulation.
I loved the way he started the match. He didn't care. He went to his butt and started palm striking from his back.
Balderrama able to get free. Nice feather in the cap. Hard right hand finds a home by Balderrama. A lot of people talk about taking on role models in combat sports, and Balderrama on the mat with the legend, but that didn't stop him from cracking him with the right hand.
Yeah, no respecter of persons. I appreciate that. Imanari making aggressive plays for the legs here. He eats another shot trying to pull after the legs.
Really trying to get a nice grip on that right leg of Balderrama is Imanari.
All right, so Imanari is kind of starting to put his control together here. He's looking to maybe reap that leg over. Balderrama instead goes into the reap, and he's going to try to heel hook Imanari with the reap.
Wouldn't this be a statement? Imanari rolling through. Now he's going back on the leg.
Balderrama does a good job there, rolling through, taking the knee line, and he's coming up on the back here on Imanari. Beautiful play by Balderrama.
Gotta make sure he doesn't get knee barred.
Oh, it's going to be a toe hold on the back door. Imanari doing a good job here, escaping his hits with that body lock that Balderrama has there around the waist is keeping him in the game. And now Imanari turns it into an outside heel hook. Nice job there by Balderrama, escapes the knee line. Excellent counter leg locking and using leg locks as his defense there by Imanari. Now he's caught in another reaping heel hook. Balderrama exchanging with the legend.
Cool as a cucumber is the 20-year-old Damian Balderrama. He's been training for just 7 years. There's not a lot of time compared to Imanari's 25 years, but nice right hand there.
Oh, there was another good one.
Imanari unfazed by it now.
Oh, nice entry by Imanari.
Balderrama able to survive for the time being, gets his leg free. Now trying to pass the guard.
Good work there by Imanari. Didn't take any shots. Balderrama came in looking to hit him. Imanari pulled the knees free, kept the hands at the distance there, and avoided any kind of damage. He lays back and plays it cool, though, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'm loving his style off his back.
See how Balderrama wants to attack here.
Oh, he eats a couple of hard shots. That second one was a hard shot. Looking for this double leg drag here.
That was a diving right hand.
Yeah.
You really got to be careful standing over Imanari. I mean, we talk about his entries. At any point can he explode, and all of a sudden you're going from standing over top of him to getting caught in a real hard leg lock position. But also got to watch that right hand to Imanari. Threw it right there and connected.
Yeah, look at the way he uses his foot under the chin to turn the head away and open up the strikes for him. I mean, Imanari's starting to land a little bit, actually.
Yeah.
And he's getting more and more relaxed. Look at him.
And match goes. Yeah, I was going to say, coming from MMA, having that control to not up kick him, but actually still use your foot in the face was.
Imanari countering with he was countering with an Estimo lock there. Imanari's knee is on the inside.
Balderrama going defensive now as Imanari's going for that right leg past the halfway point.
You see Balderrama does such a great job of just barely keeping his knee line there outside the lock. And he's looking to take that back again. Now he's caught a little deeper. Here he goes.
Imanari countered it last time, but he didn't respect. Like, see how he just kind of keeps his back on the mat. He's kind of like, well, there's no points to be afraid of, so it kind of takes the long lever away and can sometimes stop the back take. And then he just starts to peel the leg off. He did it that way last time. We might get his back taken this time though. Balderrama starting to climb the shoulders. Imanari does a great job of slipping his hips out there, and now he's into a counter leg lock again.
Yeah.
Toe hold this time.
Corner of Balderrama imploring him to try to take the back.
Yeah, he said, take the back. This footlock doesn't work. That's what Galval said. Imanari sits right up. He may be thinking about turning for the guillotine right there. He's going to roll through. Balderrama still there.
Yeah, routing him well.
Balderrama, a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Now trying to get maybe top position, maybe go for that mount.
Imanari may be thinking about a Kimura as the counter here. Nice little slap to the back of the head.
Yeah.
Man, that wrist control. Imanari kept that wrist control there with his right hand the entire time. And he just used it to replace his guard so simply, man. So efficiently. Just really didn't, even though the Balderrama was after him, stressing him with the back takes.
That's what I was expecting to happen right here.
Look at him.
Imanari's having some fun here tonight. Now going for that left leg of Balderrama.
Yeah, every time he goes to the reap, he's got his play down. Every time that.
Ooh, that was definitely a good one.
That was an impactful right hand that made much more of a thud noise than a slapping sound. I mean, you would never know by the face of Imanari that he's in a fight right now. You can see the gears sort of working in the head of Balderrama, not really sure how he's going to pass this guard and where he's going to end up if he gets too aggressive. And I think that's credit to the bottom game of Imanari.
Well, you see that Balderrama's trying to implement a little bit of that Rotolo strategy where he steps on the feet and controls one ankle, steps on the other leg, and kind of moves through that leg step passing. I don't know exactly what they call it, but it's something that's coming out of the Otto's gym, out of those Rotolo brothers specifically.
Okay,
nice guard pass
yeah.
here. Now a mount. Other side. Might be an arm triangle.
Hard to see the angle here, how deep it is. Balderrama in business. About 100 ticks on the regulation clock. Masakazu Imanari in some danger.
Yeah, he seems to be chilling, but Balderrama, he stepped across with incredible confidence right there. Oh, wow. Look at that reversal.
Oh, wow. My goodness. Masakazu Imanari gets free now on a leg. Balderrama trying to get free.
He might have this one.
There's a tap. Masakazu Imanari. On his way to the quarterfinals. Looked like he was in deep peril with that arm triangle, and then he grabs that leg and took it home.
That was madness.
Wow.
That was madness. He was all the way. He was dead in an arm triangle, and he wins with an inside heel.
Oh, my goodness. Masakazu Imanari putting on a show inside the Orpheum here in downtown Los Angeles. Let's make it official. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner via heel hook at 8 minutes and 42 seconds into regulation, and now on his way to the quarterfinals, it is Masakazu Imanari.
You remember the band Bananarama?
I do. Is that where this Balderrama comes from?
Yeah.
Got it. I mean, do you have a single? Like, what's Bananarama's biggest hit? Do you know off the top of your head?
No, I mean they were like a one-hit wonder, but I can't remember what the one hit was.
Okay. Well,
what's the name of your hit in their band Balderrama?
We don't have any hits. No hits.
I don't know, dude. I feel like you gotta have one.
Nope.
Your hit single is called Peach Fuzz.
Come on, this is more than Peach Fuzz, B-Mac. This is like a week's worth of growth. You don't even know. Like, this is hard work for me. I put in the hours
do
here.
Do me a favor. Bring back your DJ radio voice and lead us into the next song. Hit the post right here and give us Peach Fuzz by Balderrama. You got to do it for me.
All right. Live on UFC Fight Pass, it is the world premiere from Balderrama. This is Peach Fuzz, live and exclusive on UFC Fight Pass. I would hate to hear what the hook on Peach Fuzz sounds like. We're having too much fun, B-Mac. You ready to keep moving?
Not really. I would love to hear you try to sing some of the lyrics.
How do you know I'm the lead singer of Balderrama? You don't even know.
I mean, you're definitely the front man, dude.
Okay. Thank you. What are we doing?
I don't know.
You're going to get me into trouble. Let's take a look back at moment number 4. This comes from Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds 2. Ben Eddy is unlike any other grappler we've ever seen on the mat. Whether you think he's unorthodox, whether you think he's overrated, whether you think he's underrated, the dude is a problem. And if you take him lightly for 15 seconds, you're going to find yourself waking up from some sort of unorthodox, move. It really highlighted how dangerous Ben Eddy was watching him grind through a week of the PGF, because you would feel that entire room in Las Vegas sort of hold their breath when he would just get a look at getting into his guard.
Yeah, everybody knew to stay out of his closed guard, and still some people ended up in his traps, and he ended up getting that Hindulatine locked in. I know he got it locked in twice. He got lifted once and had to let it go, and then he had to switch it to a triangle once. But, man, just the most unusual, unique guard player, and this, his most classic submission.
Barnes may be thinking about switching off to his right hand right here. If he does that, we're going to see Ben get a little deeper into his rubber guard. Ben now using his right hand to start to peel the grips apart.
And Ben's already starting to
Here he goes.
Yeah, had a little body triangle going.
See the crowd inside.
Moving to the Hindulatine now. So you'll see he takes that right elbow, and he's looking to hang his arm over his own leg here. And he's looking to create a guillotine choke with his hand. So he uses the rubber guard to control the posture. And you'll see that because Ben's right arm, first of all, his feet are very dirty, but you see that right arm, he hangs the weight there, and so it makes it actually in a pretty efficient position if you've got the flexibility to do it.
So now he's just looking to punch that left arm.
He's got it.
Connect the grip.
Okay.
He's fishing for that hole.
It's hard for Barnes to really defend this because, I mean, how many people can even do this? How many people have the flexibility and length to actually do what Ben Eddy is doing? And not many.
If Ben can get his fingers together, he uses something he calls an OK grip. It only requires like 2 fingers on each hand to make this very tight guillotine grip. If he can get that in and get his left elbow high into the Marcellatine or the high elbow position, he's going to finish this. But right now he can't get that grip the way he wants.
There you go. I was saying, Barnes is doing a good job of controlling the hand and fighting the grip. He's just fighting the interception of those hands and just making sure he's breaking that up.
Switching off, maybe.
Very interesting
he's
here,
got
Ben.
The 2-arm triangle.
Ben using this to move into a dead orchard here.
But he's slipping, he's losing the arm. Oh, he's got the arm bar, he's got it.
James Barnes in trouble. Ben Eddy trying to hyperextend the left arms.
He still has the triangle.
He's going to get a couple of different looks at this. So there's a Americana shoulder lock style finish in here on either arm. There's an arm lock on either arm, and the choke is still a potential as well.
Yeah.
That's what you got to love about Ben Eddy's game here, is chaining his submission after submission.
Yeah, the threat of the arm bar is going to force him to pull the arm out, but as soon as he does, that triangle is going to be right there.
So you heard, well, maybe you heard Eddie Bravo here beside us call for Ben to zombie that left arm. And you can see that Ben now is trying to do this. He's trying to push his left arm all the way through so that he can hug his knee. And if he does that, he'll isolate the right arm of his opponent here, and he'll be able to more effectively and efficiently attack the left arm with the arm lock.
There it is. There's the zombie. He's reaching up. He wants to hug his left knee.
He's got to punch through just a little bit more.
Yeah, Barnes had a good stack there to prevent that.
Yeah.
Barnes doing a good job just surviving this. I mean, I can't stress enough, you can't mimic the style of Ben Eddy, and to be, tied up this way, you can't make a mistake or your night's going to be over, and he hasn't made a mistake yet.
There's the switch, looking back for a more traditional triangle setup, but
I'm looking at the screen.
Yeah, the guard is flooded now.
That's what you want, right?
And he's right back into a more what you might see from a typical rubber guard player now. Playing this mission control position, looking to isolate the hand to the mat and hug his own knee. Ben now thinking about working that right butterfly hook in to create a better angle for himself. Alfonso doing a great job, though. Sorry, Barnes doing a great job. Back into that dead orchard again. The dead orchard, for those of you that are watching, they're not familiar with the terminology. That's when both arms are locked inside, but the triangle is locked around the shoulders as well. So traditionally, the triangle is only done with one arm on the inside, and it proves to be more of a choke or a strangle. This, the dead orchard, usually turns into an arm lock.
Touch over 90 seconds remaining here in regulation.
Great head pressure by Barnes there. Look how he just drives that body weight down into Ben's chin.
You know, we talk about the rubber guard of Ben Eddy. Well, it may be the strongest part of his game and really one of the world's best rubber guards. That all goes out the window should James Barnes last another 80 seconds.
Yeah, Barnes just got some advice from his corner to get the shoulders through and plow forward, which is taking some of the threat off, but it's not getting him out because you're still in his full guard. So Barnes has to find a way to completely disengage if he wants to get any offense going.
Barnes doing an interesting tactic, covering the mouth there of Ben Eddy, disrupting the breathing.
Smart. Ben now getting into a position we call the meat hook. The hand is now trapped on the mat on the right side here for Barnes. This opens up a lot more potential for Ben, and now he's going to work into his Indulitine again.
Yep. See if he can get the left hand in quick enough before Barnes manages to break the grip apart.
35 seconds remaining here in regulation.
But Barnes is right on it. His left hand is just waiting to intercept.
Barnes doing a great job defensively here. You know, something to note with this rubber guard, Ben has not been able to pull off a finish thus far, but he hasn't really taken any damage either.
Exactly. Yeah, it's been a very clinchy guard game.
Does he have this? I see the high elbow here.
It might be.
I think he might have it, guys.
10
5
seconds.
seconds left.
Short time. Let's see if he can squeeze. He has to put him out. Barnes is survived.
Man.
Oh, he's out.
Oh,
he
he's
went
out.
Oh, wow.
So, this is what's interesting.
Wow.
This
So
is
the
what's
fight's over.
interesting.
Had
I've
to
seen
put him out.
We'll see what they say. I've seen a fighter choke
I have
unconscious
too.
at the end of a round where they won the
didn't count
fight.
it.
Where
Yeah.
they won the fight.
Yeah.
It's over. Like it's got to be
Is
over
it?
there.
The bell rang. The referee
Yeah.
stopped the match
But
because
they
the
should
bell
already
rang.
be in overtime, though.
So-
So you know what this is Matt Hughes, Carlos Newton.
They're giving it to him, though. They're giving it to Ben. Yeah. Yeah, I think Barnes is,
I think he's conceding the victory.
yeah. And, then, very honorable on his part,
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 10 minutes of regulation. Now moving on to the quarterfinals. Let's hear it for Ben Eddy.
Cruising along here in our top 5 EBI moments on Extra Rounds from UFC Fight Pass. I'm TJ DeSantis, the lead singer of Balderrama, along with B-Mac, Brandon McCaffrey. I mean, it's only fair that I extend an invitation for you to be in the band because, A, you're bald, just like me, but B, you actually know how to play like some instruments and stuff.
Yeah, but I don't think we can be in a band together. We're already
Why?
in a
'Cause-
band.
Okay, all right, that's fine. I mean, are you saying like you're just too manly for my peach fuzz and that's why you can't be in the band?
No, I don't know what I'm saying.
Okay.
I just love.
I don't know what you're saying either, but somehow I'm insulted and I don't understand.
I just
quite
love
why.
the idea of you being in a band called Balderrama. I don't know why it's so funny to me. I can't stop laughing at it. It's so childish and stupid.
At least one of us is having fun on Extra Rounds here today.
I'm having a great time, dude.
Yeah. All right. We've arrived to moment number 3 here in our top 5 moments from EBI. And this one, it's shockingly low on the list for me, B-Mac.
Which one is this?
This one is Gio Martinez submitting Eddie Cummings in overtime at EBI 10.
this is low on the list for. I mean, this is the number 3 of all time. That's pretty high on the list.
I'm telling you, I thought that this one might be number 1. EBI 10, my favorite EBI of all time.
Yeah.
I think it's the greatest event in the promotion's history. It was a Cinderella story. You had the Danaher Death Squad, basically a dynasty at this point of EBI, whether it be Gordon Ryan, Gary Tonin, or Eddie Cummings, and it just seemed like it was a foregone conclusion that Eddie was going to walk out of Mexico City with his hand raised and taking home that bantamweight title. But Gio Martinez had almost destiny on his side that night, B-Mac.
And I was watching this one from home. This is pre-Brandon being a part of the broadcast, so I'm watching this one from home, and, man, Gio in serious trouble pretty much the entirety of regulation, gets into the overtime, and then this happens.
This is shaping up to be what I believe everyone wanted between Martinez and Cummings.
Yeah, oh yeah. The hairs are standing up on my arms right now.
Mine too.
So excited. Damn.
It's also freezing in here. Just want to throw that out there. But the action hotter than ever. And we see Martinez on offense first. He elects to take the spiderweb.
It's for spiderweb.
Now Martinez officially on offense for the first time in this match.
Gio immediately locks up that arm crusher. He's got an arm across. Some pressure on there.
Top of the first overtime, Gio Martinez.
He's got a tight grip on that arm crusher. And bicep slice on Eddie Cummings. Eddie's is struggling. You see the wincing on his face.
Eddie Cummings had a look of not necessarily panic, but
wide-eyed, very wide-eyed. He feels the pressure on that arm. If you do not tap to an arm crusher and the pressure comes on, it can snap your forearm. I've seen it happen.
Is that a move that slowly gets to that, or is it something that happens in an instant?
Usually you slowly get to that. As they're resisting, then it's just crunch, 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 and then eventually you get a snap if you're too stubborn. But if nothing else, he's racking up a good amount of time.
Exactly. These guys are the best of the best, and obviously everyone would like to see a submission win this.
Looks like Gio's going to a swim move. He might be transitioning to a swim move off to the back to spiderweb. Beautiful.
Martinez in business here. As I said, when guys are so evenly matched and the best of the best, it may come down to that ride time, that escape time, and that's a testament to how good both of these guys are at negating each other's game. Digging in for that arm again.
He almost had the grip broken on the hands. Look, he has a hand isolated.
Wow.
Gio can quickly switch to the armbar. The thing is, Eddie Cummings, I think, is going to look for that opportunity to try to corkscrew and limp arm his arm out. So it's really a matter of timing. The grip is broken, though, so there is an armbar there for Gio. It's risky, though, to try to sell out on that.
Yeah.
You know?
And at what point do you go, okay, I've racked enough ride time up, let's go for broke?
Gio's the only one that can tell you that right now. He has the best feeling what Eddie Cummings doing, and he's just waiting for that right moment. But man, the opportunity is there. The opportunity is there.
And look at Cummings. He's almost going for a toe hold. Doesn't have the position though. Just gripping the toes there.
Yeah, maybe an unravel of the trying to use maybe pain twist to try to unravel, but no go there.
And again, Martinez able to readjust, make sure he doesn't give up the position. That arm.
Eddie Cummings doing a good job using that free arm. Now, with all this that Eddie Cummings is doing, I really think Gio should maybe head back to that armbar while he's distracted with that.
Cummings bringing his legs into the situation here, but look at that nice adjustment once again.
Yeah. Very solid with his arm crusher position is Gio. And hooking the leg, very good job keeping Eddie Cummings on his back.
The time adding up for Freakazoid Gio Martinez. TJ DeSantis here, Cruz, Nick the Tooth. An exciting overtime here in our finals. Bantamweight champion versus featherweight champion.
Deep hook's a little shallow for Gio right now. You can see the inside of his elbow there. He's going to try to punch that back in, I guess. Yeah, looks like he got it too. Yeah. You don't want that getting too shallow. That doesn't give your opponent an opportunity to slip out. And also takes the pressure off of the arm crusher.
Again, peeling that leg away is Cummings. Martinez not going anywhere, though. Trying to hook it up again.
Yep. Might be, if he can get that leg over the face, he might go back for that. Switch to the arm bar, not quite. The arm is exposed.
Trying to get on top.
Oh, come on. Oh.
But one thing that Eddie Cummings has going for him, we talk about how he gets submissions very quickly. He has a wealth of time to work here, Nick.
Yeah, he does. But I think that, you know, everybody has a chink, and that was it was a different position for him. A little bit out of his wheelhouse.
While Gio Martinez came in tonight as the defending champion, you wouldn't be telling anyone anything different other than that he was the underdog in a roundabout way.
He's got 3 minutes and 33 seconds to survive. If he can do that, he will win.
Or escape.
Or escape. Yeah, escape sooner than that.
Yeah.
What would you do here, Eric? I mean, obviously, you said, come on. You're cheering a little bit for Gio Martinez, and that by no means is bad. You're a teammate. Let's look at full disclosure here.
Yeah, well, for me, it was more so the fact that Eddie Cummings is so hard to tap, and just seeing that position crest over, you know.
But I just want to say, like, obviously, you know Gio, you know this system.
Yeah.
Okay? This is a tactical game here when we're in these overtimes at EBI. What would you advise Gio to do? Try to escape or hold on and ride that timeout?
You know, I would probably ride it out and play the tightest defense I could, because it's a lot easier to do that than the risk of escaping and leaving something on the way out. If there's an opportunity, definitely take it. Try to make something happen. Don't be a dead fish, but at the same time, you know, I think it's probably wiser, safer tactically, just to ride it out since you do have that tap.
Again, 3 minutes and 33 seconds is all he needs to last.
Oh, he's trying to trap that top arm again as Eddie Cummings. Victor's round time of the action.
So if Eddie Cummings locks up a submission before 3 minutes and 33 seconds, he will walk out the winner. So much is on the line here. But now,
trapping
Cummings getting high. Martinez in
arm is out.
trouble.
His arm is there. He's good. He's out. He's out.
He retains his
Wow. In Mexico City. No better ending for this fairy tale journey. Wow.
How amazing was that?
The best PBI.
My God.
That was amazing.
Gio Martinez still the bantamweight champion of the world.
Eddie Cummings was just laid on the mat, stunned in disbelief. Could not believe what just happened. I don't think anybody else could either. That was incredible.
The streak of Danaher Death Squad tournament victories ends tonight in Mexico City. And who better to do it than the bantamweight champion, Gio Martinez. Brings home a title for 10th Planet, brings home a nice cash prize, and we will make it official here.
And he taps out Eddie Cummings. He doesn't just beat him in overtime. He taps him out. That's amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner in overtime. And still, the bantamweight champion, Gio Freakazoid Martinez.
3 down, 2 to go in our top EBI moments here on Extra Rounds from UFC Fight Pass. TJ DeSantis along with B-Mac, Brandon McCatherine. And again, I thought that Gio Martinez submitting Eddie Cummings might be number 1, but falls to number 3. And it makes me wonder, did we do the right thing? Are the next 2 in the right appropriate positions, B-Mac?
Well, I think they're appropriate in that they're number 1 and number 2, but I would take number 2 as my number 1.
Yeah, I kind of insisted that this be number 2 and our number 1 be number 1, and I stand by that. Let's get into it, though, because this was a night in Cancun where if you weren't in the booth, B-Mac, I don't know what that call would have ended up sounding like, because I had no idea what the hell a buggy choke was.
And nobody really did. It was the first time that I had ever seen one outside of like white belts in the training room, you know? And so he locked it up the first time he tried it from half guard. And I was like, is he going for a buggy choke? And I remember you just kind of went, huh? And he didn't
Pretty
get
much.
it. But then when he passed to side control, he threw it up. I was like, oh my gosh. And then he's going to get it. And it starts, like the impact of this moment stretched all the way across the entirety of jiu-jitsu all over the world, all from this one moment right here.
We're going to relive it here in just a second, but I just want to say I had no idea what you were talking about, and then PJ Barch starts to wince a little bit, and I was like, oh, crap. This is a thing. Cade Rotolo's got a thing that I don't know what it's called, and then it ends, and I think I even say something along the lines, and we're calling it a buggy choke?
Yeah, I mean, probably the first time ever that anybody had really ever seen it, especially and definitely at the black belt level.
All right, so sit back, relax, and watch history be made as Cade Rotolo hits the buggy choke against PJ Barch.
PJ now taking advantage of the inside position, slices his right knee through. He's halfway through the guard now, and now with weight on top of Rotolo. Rotolo flattened out. PJ 2 underhooks. Excellent passing position here now from Barch, and now to the crossface. Rotolo may be thinking about that buggy choke. Did you see that? You don't see that one too much. 2.5 minutes left. PJ tightening down this passing now. Excellent job. Rotolo nice and patient there, able to recover his guard. PJ still passing.
Rotolo able to work back to his feet, feints a takedown attempt. Touch over 2 minutes remain here in regulation. This our CJJ lightweight championship match.
Nice job on that single leg. Beautiful whizzer.
Yeah, really strong whizzer play there from Rotolo. Oh, and what a reversal by Barch. Incredible. And here's this buggy choke attempt. Look at that. That's a real submission. You see, it's PJ's left shoulder driving into his artery on one side, and he's in trouble here. He's getting squeezed out.
He taps! Oh my goodness! Cade Rotolo via buggy choke. That's a new one for me, Brandon McCaffrey. Cade Rotolo, the new Combat Jiu-Jitsu World Lightweight Champion.
And PJ is like, I think PJ said, was that a buggy choke?
Oh,
what
my
a play.
Goodness.
What a play. I saw PJ struggle. I knew he had the artery cut off on one side with his own ribs, but then he got the shoulder squeezed in. We saw him go to it earlier, and he just couldn't pull it off. He killed him with it.
We'll take a look at it here in a second, but first,
Incredible.
Let's make it official and crown our champion. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner via submission in regulation via buggy choke. Now your new Combat Jiu-Jitsu World Lightweight Champion representing Autos Jiu-Jitsu, it is Cade Rotolo.
All right, watching it again, B-Mac, you might be right. Maybe that is the number one moment.
Well, I mean, you got an argument for this one as well.
Well,
if you talk about, you're talking about like big moments that are replayed all over the jiu-jitsu world, and this one truly was EBI, not combat jiu-jitsu.
Right. Yeah, this one, man. Think if it just turned out a different way. What if there was an alternate ending here? We haven't even told what it is yet, but just think about that alternate ending.
In a lot of ways, this never ended.
Well, that's true. Still going.
Still going right now. Hey,
yeah.
I was looking at some news today. This thing is still going to this day.
All right. If you don't know what we're talking about the time that Craig Jones nearly tore away the arm of Gordon Ryan and the proverbial crown in the process. Overtime here in Austin, Texas. We come full circle, by the way, as you and I return to Austin, which is where you and I actually met for the first time. So that's exciting.
Yeah. Where I started my broadcast career pretty much.
Yeah, and you started singing, but never
But
stopped
not in
either.
Balderrama.
Not in Balderrama. Not in Balderrama. All right. Craig Jones nearly takes home the arm of Gordon Ryan in overtime. A huge moment. Our number one moment on the list of EBI memories here on Extra Rounds on UFC Fight Pass.
Gordon Ryan headed into his fourth overtime. of his EBI career. All of his overtime matches have ended in submission. We'll see if he can keep that perfect finish rate and record intact. Coin flip. Looks like Gordon Ryan is deferring to Craig Jones. Jones is going to go on offense first, and he elects to take the back of the king. That's something we've seen all night, too. Gordon Ryan, when he is put in overtime, he likes to be on defense first. He likes to have that, I think, bar set so he knows exactly what he needs to do.
Oh, Craig's got the body triangle in. Oh, had to switch it. Still doing a great job of keeping the bottom hook engaged.
That's out there.
Jones tried to roll through it, but Ryan able to get free. Quick escape there by the champion, Gordon Ryan.
Good time so far for Gordon.
Bottom of the first overtime now, if Gordon Ryan is able to pull off a submission, that's a wrap. He'll be a 4-time EBI champion, successfully defending his absolute crown. Body triangle here for the king.
Yeah, he slips that in automatically, and he gets so much power and control out of it. Especially when you're talking about escape times. It's such a great opening move.
Yeah, it's tough, that those big legs around you like that. Everybody's had a really tough time getting out of his body triangle. Rear naked choke is almost sunk in there into the jaw.
Jones staying composed, able to weather the storm.
Keep working, keep working.
Gary Tonin has made a career of submitting guys in overtime from the back. Gordon Ryan, no stranger to that himself. These Danaher Death Squad guys seem to have a game plan that they put in to play and do so quite perfectly. This, your final of EBI 14, the champion, Gordon the King Ryan, on the back of Craig Jones, TJ DeSantis, Eric Cruz, Scott Ross, on it, Academy, Austin, Texas.
Craig's given up a lot of time so far.
Yeah.
Good, good, good.
And Craig does need to be defensive here, because if he gets overzealous and is submitted, it's over. It's a wrap. And better to give up time than a limb.
Exactly.
Or his neck.
Yeah, the trouble here, too, with trying to scramble out and turn is a good chance of getting a rib injury, too, because the body lock is in and you turn one way, your rib cage is facing another. You got to be careful.
Ryan now trying to get that left arm underneath the chin once again.
The short choke.
Now,
Stay super focused.
Craig would well, he wanted to keep his head on the mat and try to turn perpendicular.
Jones now trying to reach up and grab the head of Ryan. Is that to break the posture?
It's just to keep him from sinking any choking arms in. Helps to prevent the penetration of the arm under the throat. It's been working for several competitors, actually, throughout the night.
Let's block to the left and block the left leg.
Oh, triangle's open.
Oh, armbar there. We'll see if he can.
Oh, it looks like he's almost out.
Oh, beautifully.
That's out.
Yep,
now he's
out. Yep. Wow.
Nice adjustment for Gordon Ryan to hold on to it for a little while longer, but Jones able to get free, and because of that, we are headed to the top of the second overtime. Jones stays on his approach of taking the back of Ryan.
Yeah, he told me this morning, I was talking to him before the tournament started, and he said he'll only take the back because some people let you break their arm so they can escape.
I remember Kyle Griffin.
Oh, he pulled it back in. Yes.
Armbar. Gordon Ryan in trouble.
He's got it.
Craig Jones trying to make something happen.
He's going for it. He's going for it. He's got it tight. Gordon is not tapping. Gordon will not tap. He's corkscrewing and he's out.
Unbelievable.
Oh, my God. And that's exactly what he said would happen.
But the question is Gordon Ryan hurt?
Yeah, how much damage did that arm take?
Yeah, he took some damage.
And given that, if he makes it to a third overtime, will he start in spiderweb now and try to capitalize on that? Let's see.
That right there, though, ladies and gentlemen, is what champions are made of.
And the crowd goes wild.
As they should. What drama we have here in Austin.
Now he's got to split the room in half. Left side, right side.
Bottom of the second overtime. Gordon Ryan just went through literal hell with his arm. We talk about the injury. Can he maintain control? Is that arm damaged enough to where he won't enjoy the same sort of strength that he had in the bottom of the first overtime?
Yeah, Craig Jones went through about 3 different variations on trying to finish that arm. I mean, had it fully locked out, I'm sure there was at least a pop or 2, maybe 3, but Gordon Ryan knows, hey, that's just one arm. I got another arm, 2 legs, and my neck. I'm still here.
And he's got a significant lead in terms of escape time.
I mean, really, for Craig Jones, it's all going to come down to that third overtime if he gets there. But still, Gordon Ryan, very dangerous.
Wrist lock.
You know, I'm trying to look at the face here of Gordon Ryan, too, to see where he's at mentally, and he's ice cold. He looks just like he normally does.
It would be interesting if Craig could pull a submission from this position.
Of course, that would be an escape, though.
Yeah. But taking advantage of the already damaged arm.
When we talk about that time, if Gordon Ryan is injured, maybe he doesn't sell out for a submission. Maybe he just holds on as long as he can and win that way.
Yeah, that could be the option. You know, it's actually a lot more conservative. It's easier to just hold somebody than to try to finish them.
When we talk about the game plan and strategy of the Danaher Death Squad, game plans and strategy is great, but what champions are made of is adjusting.
Craig's having fun the whole time. He's laughing. Ooh,
oh, Ryan in on that choke.
Yeah, that's deep. Yep.
There it is! Gordon Ryan remains the absolute champion. Unbelievable. Gordon Ryan getting it done. Submission and overtime, that record intact, and he remains the absolute king. Let's make it official. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner via submission in overtime. And still absolute champion, he is Gordon, the King Ryan.
All right. And there you go at the end. There was that nice armbar attempt where Craig almost pulled it off. It was tight, and he's trying to pull it over his hip to get the lock, but Gordon rotates his wrist. But then that was a great job that Craig Jones did chasing it. And Gordon had to have taken some damage in there.
Yeah, he's wincing, definitely. Good wrist control there.
He just did not want to. He just did not want to tap.
Yeah, there it goes a little more. He finally gets through the corkscrew.
Oh, nice. And then when it was his turn, there Gordon Ryan is he's rolling him over, and in that transition, that's when he slipped it underneath.
Yeah, gets the choking arm through.
Done.
With the good.
All right, I'm here with the winner and still champion, still the king, Gordon Ryan. It's been a heck of a year for you, sir, and that was a heck of a fight with Craig Jones. How's your arm feeling?
Fucking Australians. Definitely very tight armbar, but that's one of the positions we drill constantly, so. I was confident I was going to escape, but you know, it was definitely tight, and he did a good job of positioning his leg.
Did it pop?
Stretch a little bit. Pop, I'm not really sure. I didn't feel anything too crazy. We'll see how it feels tomorrow, and then I'll really know for sure.
Sum this year up for me. I mean, it started here at EBI in March at EBI 11. You were victorious there. Tonight, you capture your 4th EBI title. You're victorious at Abu Dhabi. This has to be one of the best years of your 22 years on this planet.
Yeah, it's been great. 2016 was awesome for me, and then we came in strong into 2017, and I couldn't ask for a better year. And hopefully next weekend when I fight Yuri Samoas at Kasai Grappling in New York, we could end the year with that, and then go into 2018.
You showed up here, the 20-year-old Iron Dragon. You end 2017, the 22-year-old King, four-time EBI champion. What's next for you here at the Eddie Bravo Invitational?
Whatever you guys want. I heard someone specifically ask Eddie Bravo to have a slap fighting, a combat jiu-jitsu super fight with me. So I'll be more than happy to do that. But whatever you guys ask for.
Awesome. You want that? You want Gordon Ryan in combat jiu-jitsu? I think they co-signed. Gordon, appreciate it. Congratulations. There he is, the King, Gordon Ryan, victorious here at EBI.
All right. Upon revisiting it, it definitely deserves to be in that #1 spot. I was freaking out, B-Mac. I thought that Craig Jones was going to take home the arm of Gordon Ryan, dethrone him. And what's also amazing, too, a lot of people don't even know this on this night. Craig Jones made it to the finals with 90 seconds of work. He was really sick. Like he had the flu or something that night.
Yeah, well, he had his flu game. He had his Jordan flu game that night, and he got in there and did the work. And I mean, he did everything that you need to do to win a match except for win it.
Yeah. I mean, and it's kind of crazy because I think in recent history, we've seen this sort of play out as well. The situation, if you remember, Nicky Rod and Big Dan with the arm in overtime on the FPI stage.
Yeah, that was another great moment. Man, overtime has just produced some of the most exciting moments when you really think back to it. Like, just look at all that top 5 list that we just did. How many of them were in overtime? Number 1.
Number 3.
Number 3.
It's only 2 of them.
Okay. Well, still 2 out of 5.
Right. But, I mean, think about what we saw with Craig and Gordon just a moment ago. Like, that's the biggest stakes you could have. It's for the absolute championship. It's overtime in the tournament finale. It was everything. And, man, it delivered. And are we going to see it again? I mean, I mentioned Big Dan. Big Dan's in the field coming up this Sunday.
Big Dan. Who else we got on the list?
I don't have the list in front of me right now. Why are you doing that to me?
I
Big
don't
Austin
either.
Baker. I know that.
He had a good run last time we saw him in El Paso.
Yeah. You mean it? Did he go all the way to the finals?
I think he got brought back in. I think he lost and then had to come back in.
Didn't he get hurt? Someone else got hurt and brought him back in?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's that's the thing too. I just love the tournament. I love the idea that 16 athletes go head to head. The winner's going to match up 4 times, and it's for all the marbles. The EBI Absolute Championship coming up this Sunday, live and exclusive on UFC Fight Pass.
And it's good to have EBI back. I'm glad it's still in the mix, even though we don't get to see it as much as we used to. I still feel like there's a place in the jiu-jitsu world for an EBI at least once a year.
I agree wholeheartedly. So we get to see it coming up this Sunday in Austin, Texas. The night before, though, in Newark, New Jersey, UFC 302 going down. Got a fun matchup as Islam Makhachev defends his lightweight championship against the Diamond, Dustin Poirier. Any thoughts on that matchup?
I think it's a great match. It's with 2 of the world's most exciting fighters. I mean, you want to hear my prediction? How I think it's going to go? Is that what you're looking for?
Let's hear it. Why not?
I mean, I can't bet against Islam right now. I just feel like he's pound for pound the best in the world. And Poirier,
he's a minus 650 favorite. Is Makhachev.
Minus 650, that much?
Yeah, which seems
that
crazy to
me.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. He is probably the best pound for pound fighter in the world right now, but near 7-1 favorite over Dustin Poirier, who I just have a hard time ever really saying has no chance in any fight. Poirier has a chance in every fight.
Yeah, he's got a chance in every fight, and I feel like Poirier has gotten more exciting over the years too. He's been around for so long that even you almost start to think about, well, he's a veteran. Maybe he's on his way out, but he's not on his way out at all. He's getting more exciting. He's learned how to play the game more and more as time has gone on. He's more of a fan favorite than he's ever been. He's more of a knockout artist than he's ever been. He's more exciting than he's ever been. But he's taken on probably the biggest challenge of his career and the number one pound for pound, in my book at least, in Islam. And, man, I just think if Islam gets his hands on him, listen, Poirier's really good. But, I mean, we saw what happened when Khabib got his hands on him.
Right.
And I would take Islam. I feel like he's a better grappler than Khabib was.
I mean, don't get this mixed up when I say this, and I'm echoing your sentiments, but on paper, and I think talent, skill for skill, I think Islam is a better fighter than Khabib. I think that he has a lot to prove.
I think there's no question.
But he is an upgrade. He is Khabib 2.0 in so many ways.
Yeah, well, his striking is vastly superior.
Yeah.
I think his grappling is at least on par.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he's already got a stronger resume in some ways.
100%. And, he's just going to go out and do the damn thing. And if he keeps doing it, then I think there's going to be no doubt that he will eventually surpass Khabib. But a long way before he gets there. And his next stop is Newark, New Jersey. Main event, UFC 302, Islam Makhachev taking on Poirier. Poirier underdog plus 470. For him. Let's talk about the co-main event. Former UFC middleweight champion Sean Strickland back in action. He's taken on Paulo Costa. Costa to Secret Juice, a plus 200 underdog. Strickland minus 245. Your thoughts on this middleweight meeting?
I feel like this one could really go either way. And I think it's going to be a clash of style. Strickland has that ability to really drag things out. He's like the endurance champion. He's the efficiency champion. Is he still like the hardest guy to hit in UFC history? I mean, he's almost impossible to make clean striking contact with. Super hard to take down. And then you got Costa, who I think is going to come out guns blazing. He's going to come out looking to put on the most exciting fight possible. And I really think it's going to be sort of full court press versus slow the game down into a half court game from Strickland. And I don't know who's got the advantage. I feel like both guys have big strengths in their own respective areas.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Strickland will look like. This is his first time back since dropping the championship to Dricus du Plessis. Sometimes, mentally that can get an athlete off their game, but Strickland believes he did enough to win that fight. Costa's a tough out for anybody, but I do agree with the line. It's still hard, though, in any of these fights to think that Sean Strickland, wins 3 out of 4 times against Paulo Costa. It's hard to fathom that because these guys are so talented at this level, but we'll see what happens. You got a prediction in the way that this fight ends?
Decision. I think this one's going to go the distance, and it's hard to just say. I mean, the odds makers themselves, you got a plus or a minus 200 on either side. The odds makers are having a tough time picking a guy too. So, yeah, it's hard to pick. I think it's going to be a decision. I think it's going to be a really close decision. Yeah, tough for me to say. If you're forcing me to take one, I got to take my heart, and I'm going with Costa because that's my boy now, He came to PGF, so I got to go with Bohachina.
Fair enough. I got to go with Balderrama because we got a band practice coming up here in about 15 minutes. But I will see you out in Austin. Hopefully you and I can maybe do a little post-UFC 302 wrap-up show or something out there.
Let's do it because rumor has it we're going to be doing some International Fight Week stuff too.
That's true. It's a busy month of June, dude. It's a crazy month coming up.
I don't have non-crazy months anymore. It's just
that's true. Yeah,
it's just nonstop now. I like it that way.
I'm joking about this made-up band that you put me in being on tour, but you were literally on tour like 3 days ago. So
yeah, I was in Europe, dude. Munich, Germany, 80,000 people. It was insane. I wasn't on tour, but I was with the tour. Just hanging out with my friends and Five Finger Death Punch. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've been following you on Instagram. spoiling combat jiu-jitsu matches for you. So.
Oh yeah, thanks a lot, dude. You totally ruined that.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I went and watched it. I don't even know why I watched it because you.
Come on now.
I was saving it for like 24 hours. I stayed off of all fight-related social media and internet, trying to make sure I didn't see the results, and then.
See, I was just getting home when that happened from that match.
Yeah, well, you're the worst, dude, and I hope your band fails.
I promise you it will. If we're judging it based on musical talent, yeah, we're going nowhere.
It's going nowhere.
Yeah. All right, B-Mac. I'm going to Austin. I'll see you there, and it'll be great.
See you, dude. Love you, TJ. I didn't mean what I said about your band.
Well, your apologies mean very little to me, but this means a lot. DraftKings Sportsbook is the official sports betting partner of the UFC. Right now, new customers can get a no-sweat bet up to $1.5K in a bonus bet if your first bet misses. Download the app, use the code Fight Pass, and claim your no-sweat bet up to $1.5K right now. All right, that does it for us. We'll see you after the fights. This is Extra Rounds on UFC Fight Pass.